Hey folks, how you doing out there today? We are back out on my newest Snowrunner Mod Map Project, which is Highway Haulin 2, and we are going to be taking our off-road rig, Yoda's Earth Roamer, made by Big Dubs, and we're going to go across and check out one of the new off-road trails that I added in. I've been kind of playing around with a bit. Things are going pretty well on the map so far. You can see we're just crossing over what is going to be a scale station on the side of the highway. Kind of in the early works. I was actually just in the game checking, making sure the collision was okay with the models I used, and everything seems to work, so I can finish it off now. That's going to be a new little feature, probably a task or two into it. Maybe some parts or something like that, some sort of little delivery for it. Now the trailer pack we're using is actually also by Big Dubs, and it's the PB trailer pack. And the truck we're using is the Dually Crew, I believe, by John Hot Rod, one of his earlier mods, but a great hauling truck. I've always enjoyed it for a fairly heavy-duty scout hauling truck. Now we're just going to hop off on this overpass or exit. And we're going to head over down along the lake that everyone saw. I believe it was my very first video on this region. Yes, it's going to be a region eventually. I guess I should mention now before I get too far into the video, I did get a message from the devs the other day that said Outback Heavy Haulin was crashing when they tried to activate the windmill task. Now, I put 2 trailers on one map and 1 trailer on the other map. I think that was the problem, was the way I set it up. So I changed the way I set it up. It doesn't seem, I think it was Tuesday they messaged me, or Monday, and I fixed it that morning real quick, re-uploaded it. It didn't get through the rest of the week, and I haven't heard anything from them since. So whatever I thought was maybe a fix obviously didn't work. Worst comes to worst, I'm gonna break that task or that mission into 2 separate ones, so you deliver the 2 from the one place, and then the other one you have to go and find without giving up too much of the task here. Perhaps make it the second task all on its own, that way there won't be a conflict. So if I don't hear anything by, let's say, Tuesday, I'm going to re-upload it like that. Most likely it's going to break the playthrough of anyone that's playing right now, because I'm making a major change to the tasks. I apologize for that, but it's what we got to do to get it through the approval process, and hopefully I won't have to touch it again after that. So again, I'm sorry, but it's going to have to be necessary. But that's, like I said, if I hear nothing, I'm just going to go ahead and do that, because I know that will fix that problem. It has something to do with different vehicles. Trailers are treated like vehicles, and they're on 2 different maps for one task, and it's got to be, it's the only thing that I can figure, reading through the manuals again and all that, and it's got to be that. So Tuesday will be the deadline. You'll see an update after that, one way or the other. Either they tell me on Monday what they've found, or I'm just going to go ahead and get it done and get it out to everyone, hopefully. This is actually in the background. You can see a bit of a little fishing camp, and we went by. There's going to be a water pickup area over there, so there is going to be some water tasks. Probably work in perhaps water tower. I know there's one buildable one. I can think of a few reasons for that, and also as the other map and perhaps 2 more maps get added on, we can use that in future contracts to come up with. This is just kind of heading over on the back road. You guys saw this road, again, I think it was one of the first videos, and I actually went ahead and switched out the bridge for one that's already built for now, but this will be a task, is to put this bridge together. Basically, without this bridge, to get to the other town we've seen, you either have to take that really hilly run you've seen in previous videos I put out, or you're going to have to take a relatively gnarly back road. These are the 2 best ways in. This is the long way around. If, for instance, when I have a big trailer haul, you don't think you can make it up those hills, this would probably be your ticket to get around in one piece, but you'll have to build the bridge and it's going to be quite a bit longer haul. Most feedback I've got on those steep hills is that we should keep them in. The challenge to go the shorter route is trying to get up those hills, trying not to crash on that corner, which I almost did in that 4-on in the last video. And I've actually put in it's a pretty gnarly trail that's down in the gully, so if you get stuck down there is a way out, but it's not going to be easy, or you can bring another truck and try to pull it up. But the hill is definitely steep enough that you need all-wheel drive, and it was interesting to see which trucks I tried the other day that did make it up and didn't in the video I put out. So surprising, I only did 6 trucks, but yeah, it's surprising the ones that made it easy and the ones that couldn't, so it'll add a challenge. This area is the farming area. There's going to be a bunch of tasks. That's that logging road again from another other video. This is going to have a little more to it. I just kind of filled it in with trees. I'm still working on it. You can see getting into this area more. There's houses, and again, I'm going to try to use the houses and such for little tasks, keeping it kind of realistic like the highway hauling was, with you know, like we can use the garbage containers for some things. I did get somebody message and say they didn't want to have a task where you have to pick 25 things up off the map, which was the garbage pickup task. I thought it was probably pushing it, but I'm sure some people really enjoyed having to run around and do it. I don't know if it ever got fixed, but I know originally if you quit the task halfway through and came back to your save, it would make you restart, which was kind of silly and I didn't know. But anyways, part of the charm of the first highway hauling map. I won't push it that far, but I may have a task or two that's kind of in that feel of tasks of kind of driving around and picking a few things up. We're in the town here. Our trail is just up the road, so we're going to unload the earth roamer and hop in it. We're going to go check out. It's a trail that's going to scoot up on top of the mountain range, and you'll see there's a few tasks. It's actually up in that area, not the trail I'm going to take, but is going to be another log loading area. I think just for variety, I'm probably going to put a certain kind of, there's 2 log loading areas on this map. I'm probably going to put different logs at each one just to kind of change up, not going to the same one each time, or I may fill them up with both and give you options. Let me know what you would prefer generally on something like that. If you want to have 2 different places you have to go. There's also going to be another, you'll see in the background, but it's kind of a mining thing that is going to be a bit of a, let's say, a restart of it, and there's going to be a few things to haul up to there. And I've just been trying to work in a few of the tasks, but really right now most of what you see in the background are a couple buildings set down, just area covered in dirt, and they're just roughed in. I'm kind of placing everything right now. Some stuff I will end up taking trees back off of and trying to fit different things in as I kind of populate the map and really start thinking about where tasks and stuff are going to be put in. It's kind of a build-up. I roughly plan a map out. I don't get out and draw anything out. I just have a general layout. But basically at this point I've done it enough that I don't really need to, and never really did have to plan out too much. But I build the general world and add in factories and towns and just kind of general areas that are going to be points of interest and places that you're going to go to. So I kind of get a layout of road system and what the ground's going to look like and where some of the big tasks are going to be. Then I start filling in houses and, you know, where I'm going to put a couple buildable bridges. There's actually going to be one on this trail that I've used a bridge that I can drive across now, but I'm probably going to make it a task to repair it. It's going to be probably some sort of antenna communications task, and I imagine this will be a road that maybe you have to haul like a single slot of cargo up, which is always kind of fun with a scout vehicle and maybe a trailer or flatbed, really up to the player. But I want to work in a whole bunch of trails in between the main roads, so you can kind of do a role play like I just did there. You're going to take your nice rig and your trailer that goes a little bit faster. This thing's set up with the slow gearbox, so driving here would have taken forever, and really try to play out some RP scenarios, along with, again, I'm going to have camping in it, a bunch of areas like that, which will probably end up being a few tasks. I've had really good feedback on making more repeatable tasks, like making the log tasks kind of an endless thing so you can keep going back at it, so I'll make sure I work a bunch of that in. I'm just really starting to think out what I want to do with the crafting. I don't want to overdo it, but I want to try and come up with something a little bit different than how it's been used before, in a sense. This is the big bridge. This is pretty sketchy actually when you're up on it here driving across. I'm probably going to make it a little bit skinnier. I didn't think it was going to be quite that wide, but just the editor thing. But again, this is going to be a little task just to make sure you get to drive up here and cross the bridge. And like I said, I'll make it a little bit more rickety and a little bit skinnier, maybe slightly more challenging to drive across. And again, this just kind of cuts across the top of the ridge. It's just kind of an ode to the old Tassie Trail, the death trail up there, that feels really scary to go across. But these are kind of nice because you get a bit of a view of the land. You'll probably see a few areas in the background when you look around, and we can actually see the mining setup that is just going to be on our right. And again, it's going to be a few tasks and a couple bigger things that you're going to have to drag up some of the tougher logging roads, because it's kind of up along a logging road. Probably put a few cabins and stuff in along there for ambience, again, role playing, and maybe I was thinking about maybe a couple of the tasks having cargo picked up at, like, you know, somebody has this pump over at their house, can you go over and grab it type scenarios. So I just trying to work it in and mix it up a bit so that things are, I don't know, feel a little bit fresh. Again, and forget the pun, but we're running over the same path on this with Snowrunner. It kind of is what it is. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the new stuff that's going to come out in the new season, which is just a matter of a couple days. And I could download the PTS and look, but I don't have it installed right now, and I don't feel like eating up the hard drive space and the time. I'll just wait till it releases. I'm not going to have this one done before that, so whatever comes out when that update comes through, I can kind of play around with, and really hoping there's no issues with the new update. They really haven't done anything game-changing in the last few seasons, so the updates have been fairly smooth other than a few little issues with textures and stuff. But updates always make me a little bit scared. They're going to, I don't know, you never know, they remove something, sometimes things just don't work. It just creates a headache. I love that the game's still supported so well, but I'm not gonna lie, updates always scare me, and I'm not really super excited about it, although I really would like to get some more stuff to play with in the editor. So, bittersweet, I guess you might say. This trail I'm gonna rough up a little bit more. It's a pretty fun little drive in the Earth Roamer here, but I want it to be slightly more challenging. I'm going to shoot for trails like the Outback Overlanding that are going to be in between the nice roads. Like, this area is a little rougher. It's just going to keep playing around with it, but I do want to put a bunch of trails that don't really go anywhere, but you have the option to drive around and just kind of tour the map on tough little trails as much as you can on the big, heavy, wide roads that present their own challenge. But that river, I'll probably have a nice little trail up the side of it. This I could see right now. Oh, that was quite a bit of damage for a bush. I want to put more puddles and stuff along this trail. This is the first time I've been up it since I actually put it together in the editor. You guys are having the first look like I am, and a lot of those low spots I'm going to work in some puddles and a bit of mud, so it's not going to be a full mud trail, but going to have little mud holes, which I think is a more fun driving experience in this game, is mixing it up and really making a trail have a little bit of everything rather than a full mud trail or just a rock crawling trail. That's another thing. Don't know how many rock models. I'll probably sneak a few in some of the trails like this, but it's not going to be a crawling focused map. I just want to have some fun trailing that you kind of scoot over to and take some of these awesome mod rigs out and have some fun with them. So anyways, let me know what you think on the newest update so far here, and anything you'd like to see in the map, what you like, what you don't like, and we'll talk to y'all again real soon. Thanks for watching.